Have you ever felt like something was protecting you, without knowing what or who it was? Like there was an invisible force pulling you back from the edge, shielding you just before disaster struck? Maybe a close call, a near accident, or a moment you can't quite explain, where something intervened. These moments are not coincidences. Archangel Michael is revealing something sacred today. Someone in your bloodline is still protecting you. Yes, someone who may have left this earth long ago is still watching over you from the other side. This message is not for everyone. It's for those who felt a deep, unexplainable pull in their soul. A nudge to pause when they would have moved forward. A dream that felt too vivid to ignore. A whisper in the dark that made them stop and listen. You're not imagining it. Your ancestors, those aligned with divine light, are trying to help you navigate something important. And they've summoned Archangel Michael to deliver this message directly to your spirit. There is a spiritual lineage behind you that carries wisdom, power, and pain. Some of your ancestors walked through deep suffering so you could rise. They endured battles you may never know about, and some were left unfinished. But instead of passing down only wounds, they are now passing down divine protection. That protection comes in many forms: sudden instincts, emotional strength when you thought you had none, strange synchronicities that make you stop in awe. And now, it comes in this message. Archangel Michael stands between dimensions, a messenger and warrior chosen by God to speak on behalf of heaven's army. But today, he does not come alone. He brings with him a presence from your past, an ancestral spirit who carries a bond so strong, not even death could break it. They've seen what's been rising around you. The spiritual attacks, the confusion, the invisible blockages. They've seen your fatigue, your questioning, your hope that someone might be watching over you. And they are. Right now. They always were. There are forces trying to disrupt your path, but your spiritual bloodline is activating. Your journey is not just yours, it is the fulfillment of prayers whispered long before you were born. A grandmother's tear. A father's silence. A sibling lost too young. Even those names you've never heard before, who lived generations ago, they left energetic fingerprints on your soul. And Archangel Michael is here now to remind you, they haven't left you alone in this world. As darkness tries to cloak your vision and doubt pulls at your spirit, your divine protectors are making themselves known. They've been working behind the veil, aligning circumstances, shifting energies, and gently guiding you away from harm. Sometimes through people, sometimes through silence. But now, they are stepping closer. If you've been waking up in the middle of the night with a strange feeling. If you've been feeling watched, but not in fear, in comfort. If you've been hearing a name in your dreams, or seeing signs you can't explain. It's not your mind playing tricks. It's your ancestors speaking through the realms. And Michael is their voice now. This message is not meant to scare you, it's meant to empower you. Because when you realize you are never truly alone, that you were born with a divine assignment and a heavenly team behind you, your entire perception begins to shift. You stop fearing delays, because you know their protection. You stop questioning the closed doors, because you understand something better is being carved out in the unseen. You start walking with more confidence, not because you're arrogant, but because you're aware of who walks beside you. Michael is calling your attention today to something you've overlooked for too long. The pain that runs in your family line may be deep, but so is the power. And someone in that line is reaching forward to you now. Not to hold you back, but to lift you above what they could never escape. They are proud of you, not for being perfect, but for continuing the story with courage. You are their hope. You are their healing. You are the bridge, they've been watching how the world tries to distract you, how noise, doubt, and fear have tried to bury your spiritual gifts. But they've also seen your quiet strength, the moments when you chose light even when it cost you, the moments you helped others while your own soul was bleeding. These choices were not unnoticed. In fact, every time you honored your inner truth, you activated another layer of ancestral protection. You are not just being watched. You are being spiritually guarded, because your presence in this lifetime is not ordinary. It's strategic. It's divine. You were placed in your family line for a reason, not just to carry their blood, but to help rewrite the energetic legacy. The emotional cycles, the generational wounds, the patterns that kept repeating, your soul came here to interrupt all of it. And you've already started, whether you realize it or not. The very fact that you're hearing this message means you've reached a turning point. Archangel Michael doesn't speak unless heaven has something urgent to say. And today, heaven wants you to know, you are backed by divine memory. There are stories stored in your bones, secrets of resilience, hidden wisdom, and sacred power. Some of these come from the ancestors who were silenced, ignored, or erased from history. Their spirits are now rallying around you. They've waited for someone like you to rise. Someone with heart. Someone with courage. Someone willing to walk a different path. This is why you've always felt different, like you didn't fully belong in the world around you. It's because your soul was designed to belong to something higher. Your dreams lately may have felt more vivid. Your emotions, more intense. That's not a coincidence, it's a signal. The veil between realms is thinning, and divine energies are trying to get through. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold, not just as protector, but as translator. He is helping to convert divine energy into spiritual insight, so you can finally understand the signs that once seemed so vague. What you felt intuitively, someone watching over you, someone helping you, someone protecting you, it's all true, and this someone isn't just one soul. It's a network of ancestral and angelic presence, bound together through divine purpose. Michael says this, you are not here to suffer endlessly. You are here to remember who you are, and who stands with you. That remembrance is what activates miracles. It's what shifts timelines. It's what gives you the power to say, this ends with me, not out of bitterness, but out of divine authority. Have you noticed how the same challenges keep repeating in your life, just with different faces and situations? That's not failure. That's a spiritual pattern trying to be broken. The pain you've inherited wasn't yours to carry forever, it was yours to recognize, to feel, and to release. And now you have the strength. Why? Because you are not alone. Because someone from your bloodline who once carried that same pain is now standing in light, whispering guidance into your path. They couldn't heal while they were here. But through you, they can. The protection you feel is real. The near misses that saved you were not random. The sudden gut feelings, the instincts that defy logic, the invisible help at just the right time, those were signs. Not just from the universe, but from family who has become spirit, and spirit that has become angelic in alignment. Archangel Michael doesn't just deliver divine commands, he also carries the voice of those who love you from beyond this world. There may be a specific person rising in your memory right now. Someone you've lost. Someone you think about often. That's not just nostalgia. That's connection. Their presence is tied to your purpose. Their energy is guiding you from a dimension where time doesn't exist, only intention. And their intention is to see you free, whole, and spiritually strong. You are walking forward, but you are not walking alone. You are flanked by generations who believed in the future, and that future is you. This moment is sacred. This message is not entertainment, it's alignment. A divine reminder that you are watched, loved, and led from realms beyond the veil. And as Michael stands beside you, sword of light in hand, he is not just protecting your future. He is honoring your past. There are spiritual contracts written in your soul, agreements you made long before you took your first breath. Agreements to heal, to transform, to awaken. These were not made out of obligation, but out of love. Your spirit knew what it was stepping into. And even though your human self may sometimes feel overwhelmed, confused, or even broken, your higher self remembers. Archangel Michael is reminding you now that you are not failing, you are fulfilling. Some of the pressure you feel isn't just from this life, it's ancestral weight. Emotional burdens passed down silently from one generation to the next. Trauma that was never spoken, pain that was buried to keep families functioning. But the weight didn't disappear, it simply waited for someone strong enough to feel it and transform it. That someone is you. And you were never expected to do it alone. That's why your ancestors are awakening now. That's why divine protection has intensified around you. That's why Archangel Michael has stepped forward with this exact message at this exact time. You may start noticing more signs, repeating numbers, flickers of light, meaningful dreams, or sudden peace in moments of chaos. These are confirmations that you've entered a sacred phase. You're not just healing for yourself. You're healing for every soul connected to your bloodline, past and future. That's why your journey matters more than you know. Every time you choose forgiveness, every time you speak truth instead of staying silent, every time you break the pattern instead of repeating it, you're not just changing your story. You're rewriting the spiritual DNA of your lineage. Archangel Michael wants you to feel this clearly. You are the answer to someone's prayer. Someone in your bloodline once cried out to God for a miracle they never lived to see. And now, that miracle lives through you. That's why you've survived what should have broken you. That's why the enemy couldn't destroy you. Because your existence is the continuation of divine hope, and heaven is invested in your protection. Your life is not small. Your influence is not limited to what you can see. Energetically, you're a lighthouse in your lineage, calling lost energy home, restoring balance to generations, healing wounds carried too long. This kind of spiritual work creates ripples across time. Archangel Michael is standing beside you now not just as a protector, but as a witness. He sees your strength. He sees the nights you cried silently. He sees the battles you fought in your mind while smiling in front of others. And he's telling you, you were never alone in those moments. Someone from your bloodline was standing in the spirit beside you, whispering strength when yours was fading. This energy is intensifying now because you're stepping into a threshold. You're being called to remember. Remember the sacred power running through you. Remember the divine assistance constantly around you. Remember that your journey is guided by hands older than time and hearts that still beat for your success, even from the other side. The universe doesn't make mistakes. You weren't born in your family line by accident. You were placed there as a key, meant to unlock healing that no one else could. And as that healing unfolds, don't be surprised if some things fall apart. Old connections. Toxic patterns. Lifeless routines. That's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being cleared of anything that can't walk with you into your next chapter. And even when it hurts, you'll begin to feel something deeper: clarity, lightness, freedom. That's how you'll know the spiritual shift is happening. That's how you'll recognize Archangel Michael's presence, because he always brings truth, even when it shakes the ground. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are being prepared. Chosen not for comfort, but for purpose. The protection you've felt, it's real. The signs you've received, they're divine. The pain you carry, it's not your end, it's your ignition. The angels and ancestors aligned with God's will are surrounding you now, holding space, guiding steps, and clearing paths. Not just because you asked, but because they promised. If this message shook your soul, then don't just sit there. Like this video right now if you feel the power of Archangel Michael guiding your path. Share it with someone who needs divine protection urgently. Subscribe if you know this was meant for you. This is not entertainment, it's a divine lifeline. Comment below if you felt your ancestors watching over you. Speak it into existence. And if this message hit deep, show your support through super thanks. Help us keep this sacred work alive. The angels are watching who receives and who ignores. Choose wisely.